Many thanks for staying on Joy News today. Now let's do some election-related news. An Accra High Court has adjourned the All People's Congress suit against the Electoral Commission to tomorrow, Tuesday, 1st November 2016. Flag bearer of the party, Hassan Ayariga, and his lawyers sued the EC over his disqualification. Now, you remember that the APC is among 12 other parties that have been disqualified by the EC from taking part in this year's polls. Now, with the exception of the PPP that won its case against the EC on Friday, the rest, including the PNC and NDP, are still in court. The APC believes its flag bearer was wrongfully disqualified by the EC, an argument the Commission disputes. The hearing continues tomorrow, but let's get more on this now. Joseph Akablay is our man in court. He joins us live on the line. Now, Joseph, why did the court adjourn this particular case?
Well, Benis, in actual sense, today was supposed to be the day for the oral argument by the counsels on both sides. And last week, when the hearing commenced, the Judge Justice Barbara Chawi directed that the EC lawyer, as well as lawyer for Mr. Hassan Ayariga, present to the court their written statements by Friday, after which they will be making oral arguments today. But both lawyers failed to do so. In actual fact, the EC lawyer, Sadio Sori, mentioned in court that they filed their statement of case today. The written one, they filed it this morning. And he says it was because of the number of cases that the EC has been confronted with. Then again, lawyers for Hassan Ayariga mentioned that as they spoke in court at that time, their clerks were also filing that of them. So because of that, the judge then said that if both of you have not filed, one has filed, the other has yet to file, I want to get the two cases. So what will happen is that I will look at the two cases. If I have some questions to ask, let's come tomorrow. I'll direct those questions to you. In the event I receive them and by tomorrow I don't have any questions to ask you, come to court and let me fix a date when I'll give the ruling on a substantive matter.
All right, but how did the judge react to this particular news, considering there's been a lot of calls that these cases must be quickly dealt with?
I think it was in line with that. That is why she didn't belabor the point very much, and she agreed with the fact that they should go ahead and present it. So what it means is that she has rather expedited action to an extent, because it means that the oral arguments will not be taking place, because that was supposed to take place today. Because ordinarily, if we are to go by the same length of trial that was to take place, it means she would have had to fix another date for the oral argument, after we do have an opportunity to reply her questions, but still staying in line with the directive from the Chief Justice to ensure that we have a speedy trial. She has struck out the oral argument entirely and just saying that bring a written statement and let me ask questions, answer me, and let's give a judgment.
Right. Thank you very much, Joseph Akablay, for those updates. Let's still stay on election-related news now. President John Dramani Mahama is continuing his tour of the Eastern region now that is as part of his 2016 campaign. We'll get some updates from my colleague there on the ground. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress Tema Central Parliamentary candidate Ibi Bright launched her campaign over the weekend. Now, the national chairman of the party, Kofi Pottifer, charged supporters to have faith in the imminent victory of the party.
National organizer for the National Democratic Congress, Kofi Adams, says the opposition New Patriotic Party must be ashamed for contesting parliamentary seats within Tema. According to Kofi Adams, MPP under ex-President Kufuor administration failed to change sewage system in Tema, which was close to 5 decades and had outlived its lifespan, leading to constant burst. He encouraged the constituents to vote for President John Mahama and Ibi Bright come December 7 to bring to fruition developmental plans for the harbour city.
Malaria too. Now ufa APC ana paracetamol. Na etipaye ne chaya eno chede malaria no wait to aseo. Malaria no egusu wo ho.
There are things we were supposed to do, but we didn't. For some people, they refuse to take the malaria drug because they claim it is bitter, or they will feel weak, so they opt for APC, which destroys them.
Today will be a oyare malaria and call the offer antesonate any amoda kwenu wanfa Ghana. Your problems are air confronting we have just been managing all those problems over the years, and it has turned into a bigger problem. And no energy
This is the reason John Mahama came to stop us from taking APC and paracetamol in managing the symptoms. He wants us to take a drug which will stop malaria forever. This is the work Mahama is doing.
National Chairman for NDC, Kofi Potofi, believes this is the opportune moment for the youth in Tema Central to elect one of their own.
I want to appeal to all of you to put your faith in God that the NDC will win this election. The history of the MPP is to throw bombs and throw stones and to kill. They started in Kwame Nkrumah's time, and they want to do it to us. God has answered our prayers. More importantly for this event today, you have decided in Tema Central to have a candidate who is as youthful as many of you here. This meeting is a meeting of the youth, the campaign launch of the youth in Tema, who want to see development, who want to see progress.
Meanwhile, NDC Tema Central parliamentary candidate Ibi Bright says it is high time the electorates give a voice to the constituency, which she describes as voiceless in parliament due to MPP's domination.
I am standing here proudly under this umbrella because our supreme leader, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has proven to be a man of vision. He has proven to be a true man of heart and mind. So I will not hide in my house and complain. And I ask you to join me. Let us give Tema Central a voice. No longer will we be forgotten. I can assure you that the wonderful work, the hospitals, the schools, the roads, which are essential to this country's future, which have been provided all around, they befit Tema Central as well. And the people of Ghana will endorse our president. It will endorse, or she will endorse our government once more. And we'll say, JM, Swaso.
The launch was attended by both regional and national executives, some bigwigs of the party, parliamentary candidates, and artists, including Bukom Banku, who entertained the crowd. A report by Kwame Yanka for Joy News.
As mentioned earlier, President John Dramani Mahama is still in the eastern region. Will touch base with our correspondent on the ground, Kofi Siao, in subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has described Ghana's economic situation as abnormal. Now he says the entire economy needs to be revamped to safeguard the lives of Ghanaians and workers. He made this known when he visited members of the TUC in Accra. Joining me on the phone now is my colleague Matilda Wemega. She would give us more. Now, Matilda, what else has Nana Addo been saying to the TUC?
Been responding to some concerns raised by organized labor here at the TUC in Accra, where they raised concerns about the fact that the living standard in the country is not much to talk about. It's about inflation and exchange rate, which they are asking for immediate measures to be adopted to address this concern. Responding to these concerns raised by the workers, Nana Addo said he is much aware of these issues that have been put out on the table, but that is why he's so determined to make a real difference when he comes into power. He took a look at the issue about ECG compact agreement, which he assured workers that when voted into power, he's going to take a relook at the compact agreement, that is the ECG compact agreement, and also address some of these concerns raised on the issue about taxes and all that. He described the taxes as also being very insensitive and also something that affects businesses in the country. So he is still engaging them and then putting across some measures that he says are bold measures that he's going to take to address the immediate and long-term issues confronting Ghana. Bennett.
All right, Matilda, but who is he with, and how long is this meeting expected to last?
His meeting is expected to last for 1 hour, so far 30 minutes is gone. So in the next few minutes, it's going to end where questions and answers session is going to take place. But he is meeting with leadership of Trade Unions Congress. He is here with his economic management team. That's how he describes it. That are going to put up policy when he comes into power, God willing, in 2017.
All right. Thank you very much, Matilda Pamega, for those updates. Now, still on the MPP, thank you, Mr. President, for your service, but we have had enough, and it is time for you to bow out. These were the words of Nana Akufo-Addo, presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, at the launch of the party's Greater Accra Region campaign at Tema East constituency. Nana Akufo-Addo said the governing National Democratic Congress, led by President John Dramani Mahama, has in the last 8 years imposed unbearable hardship on Ghanaians and must therefore give way for a more competent team to manage the affairs of the state.
Addressing thousands of enthusiastic supporters at the Kojo Park in Tema on Sunday, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo said God has given Ghanaians the power to change the course of the country through the power of their tongue. He promised to make Ghanaians prosper and be the envy of the world.
Ghanaians look too miserable today. I don't understand why a nation that is so endowed has a people living in abject poverty. We have what it takes to turn our fortunes around. I am not here to enrich myself, but to make this country a better place. Please vote for me, because I am ready to create jobs and rebuild this country.
John Dramani Mahama, thank you and goodbye. 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 Thank you.
Samira Baumia, wife of the party's vice presidential candidate, Dr. Maumudu Baumia, threw punches at the party's opponents. She took a swipe at the NDC, insisting the governing party is the epitome of incompetence and corruption.
NDC flag, President Mama Posta, NDC or more branding gun and you know, the branding. Into the youth of this country, we are saying to the NDC that we see you all right. You want us to see you? We see you, but we see incompetence. We see you, but we see corruption. We see you, but we see mismanagement. We see you, but we see bad governance. We see you, but we want change. We see you, but we want Ghana to move forward.
Speaker by speaker, the MPP charged residents of Tema not to be swayed by what they referred to as the lies and promises said on the various campaign platforms by the NDC.
I am giving you 25 parliamentary seats in Greater Accra. The media market national. The region, I can give you major campus over 3,000.
The New Patriotic Party is seeking to win Tema East constituency seat with no less than 58% of total votes cast. Matilda Pamaga for Joy News.
Let's still stay on election-related news. PPP flag bearer Dr. Papakwesi Indum is set to commission his rice factories next month. The Ejumera rice, which is locally produced, will be available on the Ghanaian market in November this year. The refurbished Rara Rice Mill factory will start producing the Ejumera rice right after the commissioning on November 1, while commencement work on the Asin Brepu Rice Factory, which will also produce Ejumera rice, will be in full force right after inauguration on November 3. In all, some 4,000 outgrowers are expected to benefit from the 2 factories. They have since been employed by Group Indum to feed the factories with paddy rice. The establishment of the local rice mill factory is part of the group's commitment towards the improvement of lives of indigenous Ghanaians, majority of who are found in farming and fishing communities. Well.